Hi, Slopo of Hope readers. I was really occupied today with a lot of different projects, so not a lot of content for me today earlier. I'm going to try to make up for it with a video. The euro continues to be the big driver here. The what would have been a very impressive inverted head and shoulders, and it succeeded in doing what it's supposed to do, which is shoot higher, but it's cut beneath the neckline and then some. So this as a concern for equity bears is dismissed. In fact, its recovery back to the neckline, which now represents resistance, couldn't even muster that much strength. So I've got a couple of lines drawn here. Critically important is 1.3914. Less important is 1.3829. I think there's not a bad chance that it'll actually stay below that line. The weaker this gets, the better it gets for us. So well worth watching. The ES today had a positive day, thanks to what I'm not sure. I guess it was a bit of relief from all the selling off. The FOMC at first didn't do much of anything about it. But we are doodling around at this level here, 1223.75, which has been an important level for a long time. And as fuzzy as all this activity is, it's still a real attractant to prices. It had tried a number of times to get past it, finally did, retraced, really zoomed higher, and fell right back down to earth. So this is I guess what everyone seems to agree is the proper place for this to be. And until such time as it either flies past 1300 or collapses beneath 1210, it's going to continue to just frustrate bulls and bears alike. The NQ, a bit of a different shape to it, hasn't been quite as strong and I think more vulnerable to a drop. Breaking beneath about 2275 or so would be awfully bearish. Let's keep in mind that the entire rally, which lasted pretty much all of October, is still, the effects of that are still pretty much in place. So if it began to weaken, I mean, even getting down to where we started October would freak a lot of people out. That's a long way to go. One thing I wanted to touch on before I jump into the wonderful world of long positions is just our old favorite American Greetings. Been really happy with how this has been doing. This is one of those few instances where I've actually got a short that I am not worried about. I just kind of let it be. I do update the stop from time to time, but it's one of those things which, if you told me I would still be shorted a year from now, I wouldn't be shocked. That's how much faith I have in this position. But it's been doing super. I'm not quite sure where I would cover it, but I'm just going to keep watching and waiting. The stop on this one I've tightened up to 16.01. But even on a day like this, when the Dow was up, I don't even know what the Dow was up, 200 points, I think. I don't really watch it that closely. This one was not only down, but has a nice bearish engulfing pattern from a candlestick perspective. Since we're on the topic, what did the Dow do today? Okay, close, up 178. And so we're still bouncing between these retracement levels. We bounced up from one to the other, and then up from one to the other, and then down and down. It's kind of amazing to me how well behaved these have been between these retracements. So we have this one, and then we have this action here. The past, the 27th, 28th, and the 31st, all were within the confines of these two retracement levels. Yesterday we traversed that one, and now we traversed just about the other direction. So I would say on the Dow, as long as we stay beneath 11,940, that's probably pretty good for the equity bear side of things. So I wanted to kind of do something weird and freaky for me, which is share a few long positions with you. I've got 20 longs right now. I'm glad I've had some longs over the past little bit because they have helped bolster things because I've got a lot of shorts. I've got 90 shorts, so it helps kind of provide some temperament to the portfolio. And here's some of my favorites right now. Some you've seen, some you haven't. I'll just thumb them through. In alphabetical order, ATVI, Activision. Hasn't really done a heck of a lot, but this is such a nice pattern. I'm happy to wait. Hasn't really done that burst higher that I'd like to see, but maybe it's going to take some news or earnings or something like that. But this is still a very, very pretty pattern with a very nice base. BAP, not as big a base, but some nice action today. And we've got a nice basing pattern here and a pretty clean stop level on this item. Electronic Arts, ERTS, E-R-T-S. Similar field, of course, to Activision. We've got a very big basing pattern here, above which we have not broken. This line here has been difficult to get past. It actually got past it briefly on the 27th and then fell right back down again. So we need to see a burst of activity. But this I could see pushing to 35, even 40, given the whatever news is necessary to make it rocket higher. But pretty pattern there. Kind of similar and a little bit more solid here. First Energy, FE, and closer to a breakout as well. As we zoom in tighter, the First Energy, we can see we were on the cusp, I think, of a nice breakout, which could have us carry back to that $53 level you see above. Poor old Netflix. I mentioned these fan lines being good support levels. And I actually kind of like the fact that it's not acting crazy. It's kind of inching its way higher. There's a very large gap here. This is the kind of issue which people might kind of blink their eyes and recognize it's still a very good franchise, still a good business, and we could get back up above into the triple digits there without too much. So pretty happy with this so far. Another energy item, NOG. Good pattern here. Got to break above this level, in this case 25.01. And volume not doing much of anything, but a pretty nice inverted head and shoulders happening in this instance. Now this is one of those ones I mentioned, OPK, that is one of those rare ones that looks really, really interesting from a long-term perspective. Pretty tight stop on this. If it fails this 5.03 level, that's not good. But we are near lifetime highs. Again, volume not doing much of anything, but this is a huge, huge base, and I think this stock could really be going places if we could just push our way past 5.5. Radio Shack, Land of Batteries. I'm not so crazy about this one, but it's not bad. It seems to be kind of slowly kind of redirecting itself. It's a very nice scallop going down here. Kind of a nice base. Not a fantastic chart, but not a bad one either. SPPI, this is Spectrum Pharmaceuticals. As with OPK, very long-term base here. Very significant line that has to be cracked. And it's not far away, and it could well do so. And finally, one I dedicated a post to earlier today, which is SPX Corp. This is SPW. I came into today long this, and happily so. Double-digit percentage gain on this today. Didn't close above this line, but that's okay. Maybe it will tomorrow. But we could see this one traveling back to, maybe 70 or so. So there's a couple of these that, maybe I'll hold on for a long, long time. A lot of these are either bounce plays or close the gap type plays, but those are my 10 favorite longs right now, and maybe a little food for thought. So I'm going to end it here, and remember, big jobs report coming up on Friday. So have a good night, and I will see you on Thursday.